Marcellus Williams, a case of potential. Wrongful execution. Marcellus Williams was a Missouri inmate executed in 2024 despite significant doubts about his guilt. His case has sparked widespread controversy and renewed calls for reforms in the criminal justice system. Williams was convicted in 1998 of the murder of Vicki Lynn Gale. The primary evidence against him came from two witnesses, a jailhouse informant and his girlfriend. Both witnesses had incentives to provide false testimony and were later found to have credibility issues. DNA evidence obtained from the crime scene did not match Williams's DNA profile. This evidence raised significant questions about his guilt and provided grounds for his appeals. The prosecutor in the case admitted to mishandling the murder weapon and engaging in racially discriminatory jury selection practices. These actions cast doubt on the fairness of the trial and raised concerns about prosecutorial misconduct. Numerous organizations, including the Innocence Project and the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, advocated for Williams's release, citing the lack of compelling evidence against him and the potential for wrongful execution. Despite ongoing legal challenges and calls for clemency, Williams was executed. Williams's execution would be the third in Missouri this year and the 100th since the state resumed executions in 1989. This marks the third time Williams has faced execution. He was less than a week away from execution in January 2015 when the state Supreme Court called it off, allowing time for his attorneys to pursue additional DNA testing. He was just hours away from being executed in August 2017 when then-Governor Eric Greitens, a Republican, granted a stay and appointed a panel of retired judges to examine the case. But that panel never reached a conclusion. Questions about DNA evidence also led Bell to request a hearing challenging Williams's guilt. But days before the August 21 hearing, new testing showed that DNA on the knife belonged to members of the prosecutor's office, who handled it without gloves after the original crime lab tests. Without DNA evidence pointing to any alternative suspect, Midwest Innocence Project attorneys reached a compromise with the prosecutor's office. Williams would enter a new, no-contest plea to first-degree murder in exchange for a new sentence of life in prison without parole. Judge Bruce Hilton signed off on the agreement, as did Gale's family. But at the urging of Republican Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey, the Missouri Supreme Court blocked the agreement and ordered Hilton to proceed with an evidentiary hearing, which took place August 28. The prosecutor in the 2001 murder case testified at the August hearing that the trial jury was fair, even though it included just one black member on the panel. He said he struck one potential black juror partly because he looked too much like Williams, a statement which Williams's attorneys asserted showed improper racial bias. Hilton ruled on September 12 that the first-degree murder conviction and death sentence would stand, noting that Williams's arguments all had been previously rejected. That decision was upheld Monday by the state Supreme Court. Prosecutors at Williams's original trial said he broke into Gale's home on August 11, 1998, heard water running in the shower, and found a large butcher knife. Gale, a former reporter for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, was stabbed 43 times when she came downstairs. Her purse and her husband's laptop computer were stolen. Controversies and questions. Reliability of witness testimony. The credibility of the key witnesses in the case has been questioned, raising concerns about the reliability of the evidence presented at trial. Prosecutorial bias. The prosecutor's admission of mishandling evidence and racially discriminatory jury selection practices has led to allegations of prosecutorial misconduct and a potential violation of Williams's constitutional rights. Role of DNA evidence. The significance of the DNA evidence in the case has been debated, with some arguing that it is conclusive proof of Williams's innocence, while others contend that it is not conclusive. Race and the justice system. The Marcellus Williams case has highlighted concerns about racial bias in the criminal justice system, particularly in cases involving the death penalty. The Marcellus Williams case has had a significant impact on the public's perception of the criminal justice system. It has raised awareness about the potential for wrongful convictions and the need for reforms to prevent such tragedies. The case has also sparked renewed discussions about the death penalty and its application in the United States.